Good morning. Once again, we find ourselves in lockdown, and the majority of us are at home watching this assembly alone. I'm delivering it from my office, talking to a screen. It is fair to say that life is difficult. Finding the energy to look after our emotional health and keeping focused on our academic work can take a lot of energy when our worlds often feel one-dimensional and flat. One of the key tasks for us to do during this time is to be kind to ourselves. Today, I would like to talk about 10 tips that will help us manage our emotional health and keep us focused on our academic work. So the first tip is grit. Kind of dig deep and find your grit. So that means ultimately when things are really difficult, what have we got to dig deep into? Where do we go for that kind of strength? Sometimes in terms of work, there can be a blankness, there can be avoidance, there can be procrastination. And one way maybe perhaps of dealing with that is that we need to take one step at a time. Maybe to-do lists. I always, during this time, especially this morning, I've got a list of the things I'm going to do. That might be being with clients, that might be writing certain things, putting down when I'm going to do emails, just simple little tasks that we can complete, which kind of gives us a little bit of encouragement to say, yes, I've completed that. So part of grit is being positive, to kind of say to ourselves, I can do this. I will do my best. I have done it before and I will do it again. The second tip is your body needs attention. Now, again, this is a pretty kind of simple one. You've probably heard me talk about this before, but there's no doubt in these difficult times, that actually keeping to a kind of regime, if you like, in terms of looking after our bodies is massively important. So, very quickly, what are we eating? Are we eating a balanced diet? It's so easy, isn't it, to go to the chocolate, to go to the junk food, so easy, so nice for a short time. But can we kind of get balance? I know that during this time, I've really started to, number one, bake bread. I've got into fermentation, bizarre as it might seem. Fermented food is really, really good for you, but that's just me. Sleep. How do we maintain a good sleep pattern? Do we keep to our regular sleep patterns? Again, really difficult during this time of lockdown. Making sure we're drinking water. This is always going to keep us hydrated, keeping us alive, giving us that energy. And of course, exercise. We need to keep moving. Our body needs to move. And if we can do that, and we can still do that outside, getting outside for some exercise, and I've said it before, being outside, everything about being in nature is really good for us. So take that moment to be outside. Make sure you go for brisk walks, runs, cycles, walk in nature, do Tai Chi, do yoga, do whatever, but keep moving that body. The third tip is, take breaks. Do something different. Maybe even during lockdown where we might have a little bit more time, perhaps we can learn a new skill. Like I've just said, I've been learning about baking bread. But in terms of the research, even if we were to take small breaks to listen to certain kinds of music that will help us, it lowers our blood pressure, it heightens our emotional state, it helps us to absorb more information. Read Read not academic work, but read for pleasure. It might just be a magazine. It might be a novel. It might be something that is going to grip you. That, again, research said if you are just to read silently for 6 minutes in a break, it can slow down the heart rate. Unplug. Now, this is really difficult, isn't it? Where we've all been ultimately plugging in, and we've been plugging in more and more to screens. I mean, we're kind of consumed. This is what we're doing right now. But perhaps even in this time now, we need to unplug more and actually take those breaks to unplug from the screens, move away from those screens. Okay, tip number 4. Don't forget to breathe. Okay, of course, we all breathe. We're all breathing all the time. But if we start to do a different kind of breathing, a deeper breathing, a breathing from our diaphragm, kind of some stuff that goes on in meditation, this is really helpful. And what we do know, even from recent research, if you were a person who suffers from panic attacks, and sometimes you might have just had one or you might have several, we know that if you practice deep breathing, so it's a regular part of your day, panic attacks will decrease by 80%. So in times of exams and pressure, you know, there's no doubt we get more anxious. We might start hyperventilating. Our breathing may be lighter. We therefore take in more oxygen. And actually, if we slow down, we will actually be able to be a lot more relaxed, and it is good for our mental health. Tip number 5, talk about it. So talking, okay, I'm a therapist, I'm a counselor. Of course, I'm going to say talking is really good for you. And of course I talk, but I do a lot of listening. But absolutely, when we talk to our friends, our parents, other professionals, talking helps us to kind of normalize what's going on for us. It's not unusual to what I'm experiencing. Oh, you have that feeling, or you have that experience. That helps us to kind of feel better about ourselves. So articulating, naming a feeling is really important. It helps emotions to move. So that kind of, I always like to break that word up, emotion. Emotions need to be in motion. So let's move them. And self-talk, you know, we all talk to ourselves. What do we say to ourselves? Are we saying negative things to ourselves, or are we saying positive things to ourselves? Practice talking to ourselves in a positive way. Listen to yourselves is really important. Now, if you are really struggling in terms of some emotional or mental health issue, perhaps you need to go for professional help. And because even at some points, the body is maybe about to shut down, or things are getting really, really difficult. Now, it will be important to talk to a professional. Sometimes we can say too much to our friends who are not experienced or able to deal with some of our feelings. And I would caution against that. But absolutely, I would encourage you to talk to your friends about what's going on, but at certain times. Tip number 6. Now, this might seem quite an unusual one, but tip number 6 is help others. That kind of little phrase, practice random acts of kindness. Now, how does that help us to look after ourselves? Well, the science behind it too says it can actually reduce stress and it make us healthier. So when we think about others, it's the word that I as a therapist would often use is empathy. So when we're thinking about other people, or we're actually reaching out to help other people, that can help us to feel better about ourselves. Of course, the natural instinct when we struggle, even during this lockdown, COVID, is to go inwards, to kind of, okay, I must look after myself. Reverse it and try it. Practice random acts of kindness. Tip number 6, take responsibility for it, for your feelings, for your life. Now, it's really, a lot of us will say, use language a bit like, especially around exams or when things are difficult, is, I'm feeling stressed. It's too much. I can't cope. Those kind of things. Well, actually, there's a feeling behind that, which if we can name it, something like I'm feeling really anxious, I'm feeling out of my depth, I'm struggling with this, or I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling disappointed, I'm feeling hurt, whatever the feeling is, try and name it. And that means that we need to have maybe more feeling words to be able to access. When we take responsibility for it, we're basically practicing resilience. We're saying that actually, I've got enough in me to deal with this particular situation. And the idea behind resilience, if you like, is that I have enough ability to bounce back, to come back when things are getting difficult. When I go deep, it's kind of connected to grit, that I've got something to bounce back to get back to where I was. Tip number 8, be prepared. So in terms of lockdown, COVID, it's been incredibly difficult, hasn't it, for us to be prepared. None of us saw this coming a year ago. And nearly only in March last year, we had the lockdown, and here we are. And it's incredibly difficult to get our heads around these really difficult times, and of course this pandemic. But every month or every day that goes past, we've got more time to kind of consider, okay, how do we prepare ourselves to deal with this particular situation, and how do we deal with our academic work in terms of making sure we do as much as we can, and when exams come, whether they be mocks, we're obviously not too sure about exams, but when they come, how are we going to be prepared for them? What are we going to do? So one of the first things I'd say is about knowing ourselves, how we work. How do we prepare ourselves for our work or for an exam? Are we a crammer last minute, or do we prepare well in time? And sometimes it's best to look towards our strengths and actually work towards our strengths. But obviously, if we've got a lot of work to do, we don't leave it all to the last moment. Second tip is perhaps don't try to be perfect. There's many young people in the school that I work with who are struggling ultimately, that they want to produce perfect work, and it ends up they don't have enough time to do that. So perhaps we need to move away from our perfectionism. If you're struggling to overcome particular academic problems, ask for help. There's lots of teachers obviously in the school, and you all know them, who are absolutely prepared to help you, support you, especially during this time. Practice. Keep on practicing your routine. And again, just to say, during this lockdown, being at home, working from home, keeping a regular routine, being that getting up at a certain time, going to bed at a certain time is really, really important. So tip number 9 is alone and together. We need me time. Me time, making time for yourself, being kind to yourself, having lunch by yourself, doing little things that you enjoy, pottering time, gym, whatever you do, baths. Make sure you do that to look after yourself. But also we need we time. And that's more difficult with the lockdown, but there may be people who you live with or people you can exercise with, that we can connect with others. It's really important to be able to connect with others. I know that I was on a cycle ride with a friend yesterday. I was absolutely tired after it, but it was a really lovely thing to be able to get out into nature and to be with him. So tip number 10, look, if you are really struggling with some emotional issue or some academic anxiety, call a counsellor. Now, I'm here, I'm not at school, but I'm online, I'm seeing students, as usual, online. Now, if you need to make contact with me, you'll see on the PowerPoint my email. You can arrange to have an appointment with me on a Monday or Wednesday. Now, the particular issues that I tend to work with are things like anxiety and stress, family or relational difficulties, friendship issues, feeling low, sad or depressed, or a lack of emotional fitness. And finally, as we come to the end of this assembly, I'm going to leave you with some toolkit, things that you can maybe look at for yourself in terms of online support. As I finish this assembly, it's really important that you look after yourself and be kind to yourself. It's really important. That's the message that I would like to leave with you. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.